Alright guys, welcome back to part 2 of the transfer case tear down. This is the parts transfer case that I had. As you can see, it's been sitting on the ground and it is very muddy out today. So I about went four-wheeling to get back over here, but we're going to wash it off good. Unfortunately, I've already took the tail housing off, so I'm sure there's going to be some water getting in the case, but I'm hoping that one side of this case is going to be usable so that we can fix that part on this case that's wore off. But anyway, I'm going to get the water hose and we'll get it cleaned up, and then we'll figure out where we're going to move it to finish the tear down on it. Alright, so here's where the tag's supposed to go. Now, I don't really have a good place to put this thing. Looks like I've already loosened up some of these bolts. That one's loose. These that sit on the ground, I thought I had it on a piece on a tire. But somehow or another it ended up on the ground. I guess in some ways I'm kind of lucky that I'd already started tearing it down. It saved me a lot of time. But in other ways, I wish I hadn't. Now you can get these shift forks online. I've seen them on eBay for about 40 bucks used. But since we got a part case, I figure might as well just. And I'll tell you something else, you can get these case halves online and they're expensive. Ridiculously expensive. Many cases that have broke over the years you think would be fairly cheap. Well, this case looks like, this half here looks like it's in good shape. This may have been another one I had. If y'all can see, y'all missed me pulling that shaft out yesterday, so I'm gonna try to get you where you can see this one. And like I said, there's some parts. I think that right there goes on this spring. It goes up in this housing here. This spring's broke. I don't think we got a good spring. And it's supposed to be, there's a lock washer. I have ordered a rebuild kit that's going to come with all these thrust bearings. This thrust bearing's foobar. We don't need to pull that off right now. I can't believe I left that exposed though. What we're wanting is right down in here. I'm trying to find, okay, this piece here goes on this arm. Let me show you, because it popped out on me and I never could figure out where it went. Maybe you can see this little piece here. It goes on both sides of this and through that hole, that peg right there. And when we pull it out, it may or may not come out because the shaft stayed in the other one. Notice this shaft is tapered. Whoop, can't see it, can you? Notice this shaft is tapered right here. I think the other end's not tapered, so another. Zoom them out again and get everything maybe. Alright, so we're just going to try to lift up on both of these at the same time. Just like that. And we got some more stuff here. Alright, now when I did that on this, other than yonder, this whole piece here came with it. Alright, so that's how that goes. And we've lucked out, guys. We can lift up on this one, hopefully. Maybe. I think we've lucked out. This one here looks like it's still good. Still got the hickeys on it. Just figure out how it needs to go. Anyway, let's see if I can figure out what the hell. I don't want to waste all my battery trying to get this thing apart. So when I figure it out, I'll let you know what happened. Alright guys, I hadn't turned the damn camera off just a second. I decided to pull this rod out, and it came out pretty easy. Notice the bottom end here is not near as tapered as the other end. And I started wiggling some stuff, and I think I've got it where it's moving. But I'm not sure if I got it where I need to be. But this planetary gear is definitely, this is going down, and this is coming up. So I'm thinking if I just keep doing that, maybe I can get something. Thought maybe have something right here, but I don't know. I got a little crack in it. There we go. Alright, so what happened is, down here, you see this right here, this little nip. Once I seen a crack between it and here, I just prized it apart, and now it comes out, and there is our shifter we're looking for. See that end that goes into the shifter housing. So this has to be put in before that rod gets inserted. Now this looks like it's in A1 shape. That's a $40 piece right there. 40 bucks for that. As far as the rest of this stuff goes, this is your planetaries. This is what I was talking about. They welded, and that may be factory welds. I don't know, but they welded these shafts in place on these gears. There shouldn't be any wiggle wobble, and these feels good. So if them others in there, it's got needle bearings in here. So if those others aren't no good, I can use this gear. Because this one feels like a good gear. And then here's the input shaft. You can see it's got thrust bearings. I thought that was another needle or roller bearing in here, and then another set of thrust bearings. Anyway guys, we got what we needed. We'll go in here and get the rest of this case broke down. I'm going to save the parts that I can salvage out of this one. Now, I know the lighting ain't great in here, but here's the two shift forks I took off the parts Just want to compare them with what we had. Here's the one that come out of here, and it's still in good shape. I think I'll keep this one for right now. So this one will be a spare. It's a $45, $40. Now where's my other one at? Oh, here it is. Oh, it's still on the rod here. So, just to compare how that got like that, I don't know, but we definitely want to keep this one, and we'll toss this one because it ain't no good. And here's okay. This is the gear for the four-wheel drive. Remember now, this one, this piece here goes right in here like this, and it goes through that rod. Now there was another piece somewhere that I seen. I was like, where in the world did that come from? I don't see it right off the bat. But I was like, I don't have no clue. Now I think this come off the top of the rod in the spring. I didn't see it. There's a spring. Thankfully this spring's in good shape. It didn't break. Thought there was another piece there. You know, I didn't even look to see if that thing had a magnet. I don't believe it did. I must have took it out. So all we like left now is to pull this planetary out, and notice this planetary came out as a single piece because of this snap ring right here. See it? The snap ring was missing on the other one, and you can see that these are factory welded. Now, to check the needle bearings in these things, we're going to have to take the snap ring off to access it. But I'm not going to do a damn thing until I get my rebuild kit. Here's the front input shaft. And of course we got several bearings in that front pump. The input shaft's got a thrust bearing. Now, these bearings look good in here. Every one of them I've seen, they look good. Got one on the front side and a little one on the back side. I'm going to get this selector out. What we'll probably have to do is file on these edges a little bit right here to get it to go through. I'm sure there's an O-ring right there that's got to be replaced. And to get this front section out, we've got to unbolt it around here. Got to pull out. So, the only thing left to do is to, get some parts cleaned up and ready to go back together. When I get my kit, I've ordered it. It should ship Monday. Today's Sunday. Probably be here Thursday, so probably next weekend we'll be putting this back together. And hopefully we won't have no issues with anything. Trying to figure out what goes where. And still don't really. The only thing I can figure on this shift fork was it just didn't have no oil on it, and it finally just killed itself. The only thing I can figure. So stress cracking right there, but I don't think it is. Check anyway. Well, this is where that other one, I believe, that broke. Maybe some stress cracking right there, or maybe where they've some casting marks. Doesn't look too good. A little bit rough. I have to get a magnifying glass to really check it out. So I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna go ahead and unbolt that front part. This is called a lock ring in the front. Let's see if y'all can see it. Get something to wipe my hands off with. When I got done out here yesterday filming what we did, of course I went home and got on eBay just to see if I could get parts for this thing, used parts, and I can. And I found out a lot of terminology that I wasn't aware of. And one of them is this piece right here. You can see it's got teeth on it. And it gets bolted through the front. This is just what's bolted on, this right here. This right here is part of the case, these bearings. And here's another thrust washer. But this is called a lock ring. And apparently it locks this outer ring in place. Alright. And then the planetaries turn through the input shaft. So if this outer ring is locked, then they can only turn this way. So that's what that is, and you can buy that on eBay too. I think it's about $30, $40. But if you're missing a bunch of teeth on it, that's basically what you have to do. But this one looks good. I'm gonna salvage the one out of the other case, just in case it ever breaks. But of course, I've got this truck and my diesel truck. What kind of critter that was. This truck and my diesel truck both use these 208s. That case out there came with the diesel truck. And the reason I changed it out was because it was leaking fluid. It was leaking gear oil. They had put gear oil in it. And I drained the gear oil out. Well, it wasn't leaking gear oil. I drained the gear oil out when I was going to make sure it had fluid in it. I seen it was gear oil. So I drained it out and I put transmission fluid in it. And then it was leaking everywhere. And I just found another one on, I don't forget now where I bought them. I'm on eBay. I can't remember, just a whole unit. And I just put it on there. So, and just left this one here. Actually, I started tearing it down, was going to do this to it. I'm going to go ahead and put a seal kit in it. Then I noticed it was broke. You know, that housing was broke. And I said, I ain't fooling no broke housing. Even if it'd been welded up. I don't trust aluminum welds that much. And it may be fine. And I may end up having to use it because of this. But I'm hoping I can get by without it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And appreciate you listening to me ramble on about junk. Don't be afraid to tackle something like this. This is common hand tools. And like I said, the only snap ring I've encountered is on that. And I don't know why it's missing off the other one, but apparently I took it off. And of course, the bearings, I'm probably going to have to find a driver bearing set to drive these bearings in and out. That's what I'm really dreading, is getting these bearings in and out of here, because this being aluminum, you could easily break this case. Just moving, trying to knock his bearings out. Alright, well, I've rambled enough. Appreciate you watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't, and we'll catch you later.